In this video, we're going to configure Remote Access VPN through the command line. The first thing I'm going to do is TFTP my AnyConnect head-in package from my server to the ASA flash. Next, I'm going to add ICE as a radius server onto the ASA. I'll create a AAA server with the name ICE, and the protocol will be radius. As we can see here, ASA also supports HTTP form-based AAA servers, Kerberos, LDAP, SDI, and TACX, but not all necessarily for VPN. I'm going to enable change of authorization by adding the dynamic authorization command. I'll also enable interim accounting updates periodically every 24 hours. I'll define the AAA server named ICE is reachable by the inside interface, and its IP address is 10.10.10.21. I'll set the timeout as 5, and the radius shared secret is ICE cold. Next, we'll define the VPN IP address pool that our VPN users will use when they connect. The VPN pool name will be named VPN Pool 1, and the IP address range we'll use is between 10.1.30.1 and 10.1.30.50, with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Now let's start with the actual VPN configuration. I'm going to enable the tunnel group list under WebVPN. I'll define which AnyConnect image to use in its local path on the ASA. I'm going to enable AnyConnect. Now I'm going to start configuring my group policy. I'm going to define the group policy and name it Group Policy Acme VPN. Now let's go ahead and configure some of these attributes. The VPN tunnel protocol will be SSL client, since this is not a clientless VPN, and our VPN protocol will be SSL, not IPsec. I'll define the DNS server that the VPNs will use as 10.10.10.40. And I'm not going to define a WIN server. The default domain will be securitydemo.net. The tunnel group type for Acme VPN will be remote access, and let's configure some of the attributes for this tunnel group. I'm going to assign the group policy that we just created to this tunnel group under the attributes. I'm going to define the authentication server group for this tunnel group as ICE, which we previously configured. I'll use the VPN pool 1 as the address pool for this tunnel group as well. Now let's configure the WebVPN attributes for this tunnel group. The only thing I'm going to configure here is a group alias, which the users will see when they log in. I'm going to name it Acme VPN and then go ahead and enable it. If we want to enable split tunneling, we can do so as well. Now let's say I only want to tunnel selected networks. I'll need to create a standard ACL that defines those subnets. I'll name this ACL LAN, and it's just going to encompass my 10.10.10.0/24 subnet. Now let's go ahead and go back into our group policy attributes configuration. Using the split tunnel policy configuration, we can define whether or not to exclude specific networks, tunnel all networks, or tunnel only specific networks. I'm going to tunnel just specific networks. Next, I'll define the split tunnel network list with the ACL I just created. Now let's say I want to create a NAT exempt statement for these VPN clients. To do so, I'll go ahead and create a network object of the VPN IP pool subnet, and then I'll include a NAT statement. The NAT statement will be from the inside interface to the outside, where the source can be anything, and the static destination will be the network object we created twice. I'll also go ahead and put no proxy ARP, and to do a route lookup on here. Now let's say we wanted to add a banner to this VPN configuration every time a new user connects. Once again, to configure that, we'd go back into our group policy and configure that with the banner value command. And with that, that ends our VPN configuration video. Thank you so much for watching.